Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm just going to be getting ready for the day using some of the new beauty products that I picked up recently. This is the complete makeup look that you see right here. And we're just gonna chit chat because I do have one very special announcement to make. In case you aren't already aware, you probably read it in the title, but I made the 2020 Sephora Squad. I still can't believe it. I'm so excited. It's such a pinch me moment, but it's really all thanks to you guys and all of those incredible testimonials that you submitted on my behalf. So I wanted to say thank you first and foremost, but also sit down, play around with some new makeup, and share my experience so far.
Guys, I'm so excited I did it! Sephora Squad 2020!
My face is now prepped with skincare. I went in with just a smidge of this Pat McGrath Labs concealer to prime my eyelids, and I'm going to start with eyes today. I'll be using the original Divine Rose palette from Pat McGrath. This is the limited edition pink packaging that I just received. I have not touched this yet. I've swatched it, but I haven't played around with it. So you'll get to see my first impressions. And then I do have a video planned for Saturday in case you're interested in seeing a lot of tutorials using this palette. It's so pretty. I don't know where to begin, but I am going to take this fluffy brush and I'm going to go into this light matte shade right here. I'll begin by buffing this in the crease. It's a lot darker than I thought. It's okay, I can blend it out. Nothing a little blending can't fix. So let's talk about Sephora Squad. The announcement was made public on May 26th, which it had been pushed back, but I found out a couple days beforehand so we could hammer out all of the details, sign contracts. They could make sure that we were 100% committed to the program for an entire year, and we could ask questions and make sure we understood what was being asked of us, what our roles would be, what being part of the Sephora Squad entailed. Prior to making the squad, everything that I had read about the program was sort of vague. I had read a few articles about this new marketing strategy, the Sephora Squad. It's kind of one of those things that until you're a part of it, you don't really know what to expect. All I knew is that it was a group of ambassadors who represented Sephora. I want to say this is the third year for the program, and every year it just keeps building more and more momentum. This was my first year applying. I didn't really hear that much about it until last year. I started to see Tiffany Benson post hashtag Sephora Squad. I don't know if you guys are familiar with her. She's one of my favorite fragrance reviewers on YouTube. So I was introduced to the program by her, and then I happened to receive an email saying Sephora Squad applications are now open. And I thought, what the heck, I might as well apply. I don't really know much about it, but I figure I might as well put my name in the hat. I am a terrible multitasker. It's very difficult to talk and do makeup at the same time, especially if what you're talking about has nothing to do with the makeup you're applying. So this is either going to be the most blended eyeshadow look ever or the longest, most boring story time ever. I will do my best. I've now picked up a flat shader brush. This is an old concealer brush from Chanel, and I'm picking up this cool toned brown shimmery eyeshadow right here. I don't want the look to get too smoky, but I do want to do something different. I open this palette and I instinctually know what would have been my first go-to look, and I'm pushing myself away from that. So this is going to go all over the lid. I couldn't tell you the date I applied. It's been a couple months at this point, but it was a long application process. I had no idea what I was signing up for when I sat down. I just opened the email and I thought, yeah, I'll apply right now. In the moment, it must have taken me at least 2 hours, probably closer to 3.5 hours to complete the application. A lot of the questions were long answer format. They gave you plenty of space to write, so you could just tell that they wanted somebody to take their time. They wanted people who had something to say. I'm trying to think of some of the questions. One of the hardest questions was pretty simple. It was, what is your favorite makeup product? And I remember sitting there stumped. I just typed paragraph after paragraph for all of the previous questions, but that was the one question that I thought, well, what is my favorite makeup product? Just one? It's impossible. What makes you unique? Your story, kind of how you got started in beauty. How you feel about influencers in beauty and their responsibility. What do you want to say to people as an influencer in the beauty space? So a lot of very deep questions like that. Using my ring finger, I'm going to go into this duochrome right here. It's kind of peach, gold, pink. It shifts depending on which way you look at it. It's so pretty. I'm going to pop that right in the center. Those are the kinds of questions that are pretty easy for me to answer, because I do have a profound respect for the beauty industry as a whole. I know a lot of you guys probably don't know my story, but I ended up working in beauty by what seemed like a very random, coincidental chain of events, which looking back now, I know was destiny. I was meant to work in beauty. To make a long story short, I started out working in broadcasting, and beauty was just sort of a side hobby. You know, it was something that I started to get into, and I was watching YouTube videos because I wanted to up my game so that I could look better when I was presenting news on camera. My contract came to an end. I met an incredible man who is now my husband. He moved me to a different state. My life completely changed. And I was out of work for 6 months, miserable, hating life, not sure what I was supposed to do with myself. Ultimately, I did get a job as the business manager for the Chanel counter at Nordstrom. So beauty saved me in a way. I mean, it gave me my sanity back, that's for sure. And it was amazing. It changed everything for me. At the time, I truly felt like I was living a dream that I didn't even know I had yet. I went from watching YouTube videos on the weekends to attending trainings and education seminars with Chanel, arguably the #1 luxury brand in the world. I started at the bottom and suddenly I was here. It was incredible. That was years ago, and in the time since then, I've had so many incredible opportunities. At one point, I managed a team of 5 people, so talk about lessons learned. You know, working in retail will teach you a lot about yourself. I learned so much about leadership, communication skills, team building. I had incredible opportunities to work with different brands. And of course, I met so many incredible people. I've been inspired by some of the best makeup artists out there. So much has happened. I've built this YouTube channel. I have all of you guys. You know, connecting with you guys has been the best part of everything. Needless to say, I have plenty of thoughts and experiences to share when it comes to talking about the beauty industry as a whole. I still remember vividly wandering around Sephora before I ever got hired with Chanel when I was in a new city. I had no job, no friends, and nowhere to go. And it almost felt like home, because that was the one thing that I had in my life that made me feel inspired and happy, was playing with new makeup, and I felt connected to other people in that way. I recognize that everybody has a very different experience with beauty. You know, for some people, shopping for makeup can have a negative effect. You know, it's not a great experience. For other people, playing with new makeup is the ultimate creative outlet. There's good and there's bad in every industry you come across, but I think it's important to recognize it and be very thoughtful with what you want to say and what you want to bring, which is why I always try to lead with positivity, no matter what. I'm just quickly blending out the crease. Here I thought this would be a well-blended eyeshadow look, but I just keep getting distracted. So now I do want to add some depth. I'm taking this smaller, fluffy brush. I'm going into this deep chocolate brown, and this is going to go in the outer V. I did my best with the application, and then once I submitted, I didn't really think about it after that. I didn't think I stood a chance. I knew there would be tens of thousands of people applying. I was happy to throw my name in the hat, take the time to sit down and put forth effort, put thought into the application, but then that was it. I thought my journey ended there. I was just proud of myself for applying. It wasn't until maybe a month and a half later that I got an email saying that I was a semi-finalist. I was shocked. And that was the first time I thought to myself, you know what? Maybe I have a chance. Is this possible? Could I possibly have a chance? So I went down the list of semi-finalists to check everybody out, the way one does. And that's when I immediately thought, there is no way in hell I'm gonna get chosen. The competition was stacked, to say the very least. Every single person was beautiful. They had an incredible story. I clicked on all of the Instagram pages and I read about them. Everybody was amazing. It was really remarkable to see so much diversity, and I don't mean just race. I mean race, ethnicity, men, women, moms, all ages represented, different styles. Some people focused on skincare, some people focused on fragrance. But it was like, wow, this is a remarkable group. How on earth are they going to narrow it down from here? I even showed my husband. We went down the list and he looked at me and even he was like, you're pretty basic. But I really did not think I stood a chance. And I owe it all to you guys. I know that's what set me apart. The difference maker for me was all of you guys and your testimonials. I cannot thank you enough. I can't tell you what it means to me, but I feel like we succeeded. This is our accomplishment. I certainly couldn't have done it alone. I would have never stood out without you guys. And now more than ever, I really feel sort of invigorated and inspired to just create the most informative, beneficial content, keep getting better, keep growing. I don't want to take a second of this for granted, that's for sure. I finally applied Sunless Tanner to my body this morning, so I'm going in with this Airbrush Flawless Foundation. I'm not going to add any bronzer just because my tan hasn't fully developed yet. And I'm still waiting on 2 different sunless tanners before I begin my video. But I have a pile, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that all I have? I'm waiting to order 2 more. I think I have 3 more on my list, and then I'm gonna put together my ultimate guide to sunless tanners. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. The day I found out that I made Sephora Squad, I was useless. I opened the email in the morning. I couldn't believe it. I just kept rereading it. I thought, there's no way. Is it possible? Is this real? I was in shock, is the best way to describe it. I was so unproductive. I cried my eyes out. I don't know why. I had such an emotional response. I think it's just because when you dedicate so much time to something, it takes a lot of time to create a YouTube channel. It's not brain surgery, it's not hard, but it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of time, and it's a lot of money and dedication, and a lot of ups and downs, and you truly have to be self-motivated. One thing I always tell people when they say they want to start a YouTube channel is that you have to be committed, 110%. Because it can take years before you really see any growth. It took me years and years and years, and then some. I'm going in now with the Pat McGrath Labs concealer. So you just have to be ready. It's a lot of hard work and a lot of disappointment, and if you're doing it on your own, which I have, you don't have anybody to help you. It's a lot of trial, error, a lot of mistakes, frustration. I'm not the most tech-savvy person, so I've had to figure out all of this on my own. And I still struggle with my lighting setup. I struggle with my camera equipment, editing software. It's a lot. It's a lot for one person. So you just have to be ready. But if you really love it, you'll put in the work and it won't even feel like work. I don't remember the last time I truly had a day off where I didn't do something. I'm either filming, editing, taking photos, editing photos, planning content, answering emails. I'm always doing something, but I love it. I want to. I really don't want to do anything else. I kind of have to be pried away because it's never finished. You're never done. It's similar to starting a business or creating a brand. If you're an entrepreneur, the work never ends. There's no such thing as 40-hour work weeks. You're just never finished. The concealer is looking a little bit fair. I'm almost scared to use this, but I'm just gonna go in with a light hand. So I'm gonna use my Gucci setting powder. This is shade 1 on this little brush. And I'm only gonna set my under eye, not the entire face. I am so pale, I need color. I haven't used this on camera yet, but I have been using it. It's the new Becca Bronzed Bondi Bronzer I picked up, which is not new. It's new for me because I picked it up on sale. I wanna say this was maybe $27, or was it less than 20? Somewhere around $25. On a typical day, I like to wake up somewhere between 7 and 7:30, put on coffee, clean the kitchen a little bit, and then I immediately start answering emails. I try to get into the comment section, respond to comments, have breakfast. Around 10 o'clock, if I'm done with emails, then I might start setting up to film, plan content, and then I'll film generally from that time to about 2 or 3 if I can. Sometimes I finish around 4, and then I edit until around 8. And even then I'll be posting pictures or editing pictures in between. The days are long, but it's worth it. And it's so much fun. I really like this Becca bronzer. It's not what I expected at all. It's slightly more red than any of the other bronzers that I picked up recently, and I thought it would be more luminous, but it's actually not. It's not matte either, but it's somewhere in the middle. You know, it's not a luminous bronzer, but it's not really flat. For cheeks, I'm going in now with my new highlighter blush duo from Chantecaille. Let's see. I really love this coral blush. It is pigmented. It's a really pretty little palette. I learned my lesson yesterday. You have to be very light-handed. Plenty. I think I missed a spot with my sunless tanner right here. I'll have to fix that quick. Don't want the same disaster as last time. For glow, I'm going right into the highlighter. So what does it mean now that I am part of this Sephora Squad? What is the Sephora Squad, you might ask? I know I did because I wasn't 100% sure. But basically it means I'll be an ambassador for Sephora for an entire calendar year. There are about 50 of us between the United States and Canada. There's also a group called Launch Partners and Global Ambassadors. I think there's a third one. Between everybody, there's probably over 75 different ambassadors for the entire Sephora Squad, which is pretty cool. It's kind of huge. But basically, we'll just be working on sponsored content throughout the year, and we'll help out with launches whenever there are new products at Sephora. Of course, Sephora sale, I'm sure there will be something. You get to network within each other, but then also there's an opportunity to network with brands. So that will be really exciting. It's just been nice to connect with people and talk about makeup again. You know, have something to look forward to, something exciting going on. I'm picking up this shade right here, and I'm gonna pop that in the inner corner. I'm gonna finish up the eye look. But hopefully, I mean, who knows? I really don't have a clue yet. But hopefully I'll have a chance to fill you guys in on sneak peeks, different promotions. I wiped off my brush, so I'm going back into that first matte shade and I'm going to finish buffing that underneath the lower lash line. I like the gray underneath. I thought about doing the deep brown. I think that could have taken it more smoky than I want. The gray is pretty. Muted Dusty Rose Gray. I wonder what the actual name is. I don't have the box. I just filled in my eyebrows, did black liquid eyeliner on top and mascara. That's all you missed. And I think it needs a little something else. Maybe eyeliner in the waterline. I don't even think I own the color I would want to use. I just went through all of my eyeliners. But I pulled out the Pillow Talk from Charlotte Tilbury. This is darker than what I would want to use, but I'm just gonna try it out. Oof, needs to be sharpened. Considering this is the first time I've touched any of these eyeshadows to my eye, I'm really happy with the look. I think it turned out nice. I loved playing around with these shadows. I didn't struggle at all. They blend really nicely, they go on nicely. No issues to speak of. It's so pretty. This truly is the most wearable palette. The last step is lips, so I'm going in with this new Jimmy Choo lipstick. This is the shade Tender Pink. 008. I love this color, it's so pretty, but I think it lends itself nicely to this palette as well. Like any of the looks you can do with this palette, you can use this lipstick. These lipsticks are so creamy. It feels so luxurious and I love this color. It's kind of the perfect rosy pink. So it looks really nice with Divine Rose, of course. It's not too dark and smoky, it's kind of soft glam. So back to the Sephora Squad. Next week is our first big team meeting where we'll get to see and meet everybody virtually, of course, on Zoom. But I cannot wait. I am so excited and that's going to kickstart the entire year. So hopefully you guys are interested because I would love to keep sharing my journey with you guys, keep you updated on everything I'm working on with Sephora. But a huge thank you to everybody who sent in a testimonial on my behalf. I cannot thank you enough. It's been a really rough last few weeks for everybody and a really strange past few months, actually. So even though I've known for a while now, I haven't really felt like announcing it or celebrating. I don't even really talk about it at all, even with people close to me. But now I'm slowly but surely starting to warm up to the idea, I guess because things are starting to get going. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't excited and I wasn't really proud and ready to take on this opportunity. And it is important to celebrate things worth celebrating, even though it's not the most important thing in the world. It's nice to have something to look forward to and be happy about. So I'm very excited to finally share the news with you guys today. And that completes today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Leave me your comments, questions down below. I love hearing from you guys. As always, I will be linking everything mentioned, everything on my face down below in the description box for your convenience. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.